Hello, everybody, and welcome back to BigRedEDC, and welcome to yet another edition of Channel Chat with KC. He's definitely set the record. I think he's been on at least 28 times, but that's okay. That's cool. That's why we're here, and that's why we love doing it.
Not 37 times?
No, not 37, 28. You still got a ways to go.
I'm just making
Still got a
sure.
ways to go.
I'm just making sure.
But of course, we are here today to talk about this guy right here. This is the Tempest Knives Pinion. You know, we did one of these with of course, the Mach 51. So we're going to do it again with the Pinion. Now, Casey, I'm just going to start out by telling you, dude, you did it again as far as I'm concerned. I'm really, really pleased with how this turned out. And I'm pretty sure you are too. I know there's some little tweaks and stuff that obviously comes with a prototype, and we'll definitely hit those up. And I told you we'd talk about the Mach 51. You know, you carried over some of the same design aspects. I mean, it's your design language. It really is. It's really kind of how you see a knife and what you like in a knife, and I love that. But you've also made some of the changes that I think, I don't want to say deterred people from the Mach 51, but you listened. You did like any good knife designer does, you know, and should, and listen. So let's why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your feelings about
first of all, my first feeling is I'm very sad because right now you're holding one and I'm not, because I just sent the other two off to other reviewers.
Right.
So I'm excited. The reactions at Blade Show energized me. You know me. You've known me for a while now, and you know I'm like, I second guess myself way too much.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of my, you said my design process, you said my design language, but in my case, part of my design process is second and third and fourth guessing myself. There's some cases in the book here, even in the case with that one, where there's an early version and then another version and then another version, and this is the final version of this knife. There's still going to be some tweaks, but yeah, I mean, I set out to do exactly after the Mach 51. I set out to get a knife out there, and I think in my mind, the way to do it is to start in the budget realm, and to nail the budget realm. That was, people ask, why did you change from QSP to Kuby? Nothing against QSP. I will be back to QSP for absolute certain. I loved working with them. The main reason was I have felt 6 or 8 budget knives this year from Kuby that blew my mind. And I just felt like if I'm going to go in the budget realm, I want to go to somebody that's kind of killing it in the budget category right now. And that was it. It wasn't, you know, again, let's be serious here. QSP's nailed it with the Penguin a billion times in the budget realm, but I just felt like right now that train of excitement from everybody is on the budget side of things is with Kuby. And if I, you know, as soon as I launched and said it was going to be Kuby, people were very excited.
Good.
I love
Good
my
deal.
this. I love my 322. I love my Royal. I love my, or Royale with cheese, as Stevie Wonder Woman calls it. I love this one. I love that one, you know. And it just was, to me, it immediately gets people to think, ooh, they did really good on this, so of course they're going to do really good on that. So
Sure.
that was the goal. And so back to what I'm saying about the prototype itself, they really nailed. Most of the knives I've seen from them have been flat slab scales, G10, and so I was very I like that shot, right up to your eyeball there. But there you go. But I was a little nervous to see how they would do with a contoured scale, and they killed it. It's well done. It feels good in the hand. You know, another part of the process was I wanted to give people more lock bar access without affecting the ergonomics. Sometimes people do a lock bar cutout and it feels weird in my hand to only have one side. And so I was trying very hard to do a shape there that would still the overlapping of your fingers still feel very good in the hand, and I think it does.
Absolutely.
And it allows you very generous lock bar access. So if anybody complains about lock bar access, I'm not sure what else to do. The hole versus slot thing, although you know me, I like the slot, so I left the slot at the front so that I can still flick it out of a slot because I enjoy that. But you have a hole for the hole people now, and the knife has what I'm gonna call good bones, meaning I think this knife, there's some other things I can do with this knife down the road. I think, this is going to be a platform, and I have ideas to do. Yeah, there you go. Great lock bar look. Great look at the skeletonization inside for weight. I think they did real good. Now, the interesting part about the relationship with Kuby is they're much more what's the word I want to use? Active in trying to find middle ground on some things. They like doing things. Yeah. They like doing things a certain way. Well, no, what I was really thinking about is the skeletonization. I had pockets in there and they did holes, but it worked out. I mean, we're at 3 on that one. We're at 3.6 on the G10. We're at 3.7.5 or so. And I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with it. And the black clip thing, I think, was them trying to show me, ooh, wouldn't it look nice with a black clip?
Sure.
That's going to be silver to match everything else on this particular run. Now, I've had a lot of people ask about a black blade, a coated blade, and I'm not doing that this time around. If this one sells, I could see possibly doing a run of a coated blade down the road. But basically the way it works is you get a minimum order quantity, and that's within a certain style of blade. So I would have had to basically do 2 orders with them. Ooh, I just want to get 1 order going, guys.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Sorry, I just ate. I'm very happy with it. And oh, by the way, the other thing is I was not concerned, but interested to see how Kuby would do with the pivot. With the design there on the pivot, and I think they did an admirable job, especially on a budget knife. Now that, just so everybody knows, the prototypes are that is steel, but it's going to be titanium. All the screws will be titanium. It was just an oversight on their part on the prototype, but I think they did really good. What do you think?
Well, I'll kind of do, this is basically going to end up being kind of my review of
I talk too much, but I'm happy is the answer to your first question.
You should talk too much because you should be proud of it, because my overall aspect is, yes, I am loving the design. It's ergonomically, and I know, that's a big point for you. It ergonomically, it's terrific. It feels terrific in hand. As you can see there, I get a good 4-finger grip. I have just a little bit left over. Now, one of my points that I always do, of course, is grip length, and I am getting almost 4 inches point to point on the grip. Now, could you choke up a little bit? You can. Not necessarily what I would call a full finger choil, but you can definitely get your finger up there and hang on, and it works.
And again, it depends on everybody's fingers. I can actually get my full finger in there.
I can,
but I hear what you're saying. It's a little close to the blade, of course.
A little, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
But the whole idea was to be able to have that back area that you're on right there.
Yep.
And that kind of gives you a little bit of what's the word? It kind of gives you a little more leverage.
Sure.
If that's the right word.
It does.
Having it that way, but to each their own on that, but it's there if somebody wants it, and it's not.
Absolutely.
If you don't want it, it's close enough, where it's easily done there.
Oh yeah.
Plus, they did a good job with the plunge there, and we have a sharpening area, and
Yep. Absolutely. Now where I say you listened to everybody. I know people are talking about, why didn't you put a hole instead of a slot? Right. And I know your reasoning behind it, but you did that. You gave people what they wanted. Another comment from the Mach 51 was, kind of tone down the quote unquote cockpit area of the Mach 51, which you did. You did exactly that. You kept your design aspect, which I personally like, but you did. You toned it down. You gave them a hole to use for reverse flicking, which it does very well. Even me, somebody that struggles from time to time. And actually, I just had somebody ask me on SKL, can you thumb flick it? You know? And yeah, I can thumb flick it very easily.
Yeah, I watched that part where you were answering. I can't remember who it was. Was it Kevin Kirk?
I think it might have been
somebody that had issues with their hands. I can't remember.
Right.
Yeah.
They had tendon issues, and I can definitely see that and get that aspect of it. But yes, I can thumb flick it. Of course, I screwed it up there. I can thumb flick it pretty well. You know, so no real issue as far as that goes.
Yeah, I would actually say it's tall enough, and it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not sharp, but it's got enough of an angle to grab your thumb.
No, it's not sharp at all.
Yeah, so
it's not sharp
it's
at all.
Definitely not sharp, but
no. But it's definitely, in my aspect, it's definitely made to reverse flick, and I think you like that aspect of it for sure.
Yes, very much so.
And that's me. Good. That's good, but I can do it pretty well.
Good.
Ergos, like I said, nothing wrong with the ergos. Aesthetics, it's your design language. It's got curves, everything I like. Now personally, I'll tell you right now, I don't mind the black clip. I know it's going to be silver and match everything else. I don't mind it, but it does go with the rest. If it's silver, it goes with the rest of the hardware. Now, are you going T8s on all this? Is it T8s all around?
Yeah, everything. Okay. Right now, the body screws are T6.
Right.
But they're going to be T8 all around. Yes. And it was, again, an oversight. And I'm trying to have them shorten that that screw, either trail it off, or see how it's sticking out a little bit. It didn't give me any troubles.
No, it didn't give me any either.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to see if I can shrink it a little bit, or make it where it's maybe, tailored or contoured, if you will.
Sure. Yeah. And it will accept the lynch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It will accept.
I tried it. I've got the it's the lynch wire clips, and somebody said Rip's Garage Tech makes one too, but these really simple lynch wire replacement clips, will fit. And of course you can get them in whatever color you want. Good. Casey wants me to let him know when it launches, and he's gonna add it to the to his website that they fit the knife.
Oh, so, very cool. Very cool.
And awesome. It fit really well. I mean, really well. So
now another thing with the hardware is this. You said they're gonna. I know on one of them they give you kind of it was more of a brushed or a satin.
They're all going to be like that one you have in your hand. Okay. Yeah. See how it's a little more chromy looking on that one. Yep. So the black G10, they did like a bead blasted on it.
That's right.
I think they were trying to show me different options. I really do.
I think so too.
They never communicated that, but I think that's what they were trying to do. But I want it shiny in this case. It's a car rim. Okay. I want it to be shiny. So that's where I'm going. Yeah.
Definitely the chrome. And then all of them will have the stone wash, correct?
Yep.
And hollow or flat?
Flat.
Yeah.
Okay. We're sticking with flat.
To kind of go in that high flat there.
Yep.
Which, yes, it looks good.
I like the way they did that one, with the flats still being a little different than the grind, and it's all stone wash, but the flats are a little more polished, I think, is what they did. And or maybe it's the other way, or less polished. Maybe it's the other way around. But there's a contrast. There is just
there's a very not. I mean, it's slight. It's not. Yeah, it's not. Correct. But it's
may just be the angle the light's hitting it. But either way, I mean, it looks really, really nice.
It's kind of hard here because I'm getting outside light. But no, you know what? You might be right. It just could be the angle between the flat and the grind.
Right.
It very well could be.
Either way, I think it came out pretty good. And I like the stone wash because, again, here's the thing. Let's talk about a question you asked a minute ago. Okay. Because I've been asked this a lot. Hollow versus flat. So they did offer to do a hollow on this knife. Okay. And I went with what I think is a pretty thin but not super thin blade stock. This is 3.2 millimeters or 12.12. Was that 12/100ths or 12 Z100ths? 0.12, whatever it is.
Hundreds.
0.12 of an inch, hundredths. Thank you. Yeah, scatterbrain. And so I personally think this knife, the shape of it, the design of it, the way it feels in your hand lends to it being a work knife. And so to me, I decided to leave it as a flat just simply because I feel like if I made it a hollow, then that sort of detracts a little bit from that vibe of, hey, you know, sure, go cut 1,000 boxes open with it and beat it up and do whatever you want. And having the stonewash finish is gonna keep it from getting all banged up looking and everything else. So the whole vibe of to me is yes, of course it's an EDC knife for whoever wants it to just be a regular pocket carry. But if somebody wants to use this as a work knife, if JB wants to take this and cut a bunch of rope with it, I think, hopefully you've tried this, but
I have.
I think it should handle that very well. A hollow grind always worries me a little bit in those kind of situations, just simply because I don't want to see people taking a big chunk out of their blade if they decide to use it for work, and that's just me.
No, I have. So, I have used it, definitely. No issues. No issues there at all. And
it'll cut.
Oh, it'll definitely cut. There's no doubt about it. Now, a lot, no, I didn't do a lot for the simple fact that it's going to go to several other people, and we want to make sure that they have a good experience with it as well.
And it's not the final steel, but we know Kuby can heat treat AUS-10. We know they can treat 14C, so I'm not too worried about it.
Which they're going to be 14C.
Yeah, so the knives are going to be 14C. Yeah, I should, but this prototype is AUS-10.
Right,
so, yeah.
Right. And that, we've talked about a little thing. The prototype, this one is a bit off center. We're going to just get that out there. It's not a production knife.
And their response was we will solve that issue. Here's the way they put it. I said all blades need to be consistently centered. Their answer is this issue will be solved. Okay. So that was their answer. And all three, the reason I use the word consistently is they were consistent. All three of them are consistently off to the show side slightly.
Okay.
Another thing that should help with that, JB, is I'm switching the bearings. So it came with very small, I can't even remember what size they are, but they're very small bearings. You can see the action is stunning. I mean, it's great. So it's not really a problem, but I'm having them switch to the 5 millimeter 1/16 bearings that are in the KU 321, the Royal.
Okay.
And so they're bigger. And the reason that's important, probably not for you or me, is for the goobers like Kevin and all these other people that like to have skiff bearings. You will be able to get a 5 millimeter 1/16 bearing from Skiff and put it in this knife if you wish. Okay. So that they've agreed to that. They are doing that. Like I said, they just put the bearings they had in there, but they are going to do the 5 millimeter 1/16.
Well, since we're talking about tweaks and changes, why don't you kind of give us an idea of some of the things that you want to have tweaked and put in the final production?
Can do. Am I coming through okay on your side? You're kind of freezing every once in a while to me, but it may be my internet.
You just froze a little bit.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I should have reset the router. I'll have to do it before I do anything else. So
but you're back there.
Okay, so sorry about that, guys. I know I'm worse looking frozen. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so the bearing change we talked about, all screws will be T8 instead of any T6. All screws will be the shinier finish instead of the blasted finish. All clips will be the silver, like we've seen on the other two prototypes. Wire clips, just like you see. Clip screw, I'm asking them to do smaller, so it doesn't catch on pocket, and they're supposed to let me know what they're doing for that. I'm also entertaining the idea of moving the clip up to basically centered in the scale. You see, I mean, excuse me, down in the case of how you're holding it. Here, hold it one way and let's talk about it. Okay, so it's going to move to my left. Yeah, so it's centered in the scale and then be canted down towards the bottom.
Okay.
I'm very much like this.
Yeah,
So
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, that's what it's going to look like. So,
okay.
Again, I have asked them to send me that in the drawing so I can make sure they're inputting what I'm outputting.
Right.
And then we'll go from there. And then again, the blades just need to be consistently centered, and that's it. I am entertaining an idea about maybe lengthening the blade. You and I talked about. I don't want to get into it. Here's the thing: 90% of the people that saw it at Blade Show, this didn't bother them. A few people just thought maybe the blade could be a little bit longer, but I want to maintain the blade shape. I'm a little concerned that if they lengthen it, they're just going to lengthen the tip and then that'll go like this. So I'm waiting again for them to send me new drawings to show me what it would look like if they lengthened it.
Right.
And if that's a problem, I may even consider chopping the backspacer down a little bit. But right now the blade is, what did I write down? Sure, Casey, good job. The blade is 3 3/8. Or just a little bit over, between 3 3/4 and 3 3/8. It's right in there.
Yeah,
And 3 1/4, excuse me. Yeah. So I'm considering lengthening the blade, but again, I'm not at the cost of changing the profile of the blade, because I really like, and again, we can have this debate again, JB, if you want, because there's people that says it's a reverse tanto. People have called it a sheep's foot. People have called it a Warncliffe. That's the reason I'm calling it a drop sheep, because I don't know what it is. People keep asking me, what is it? It's definitely got, if you just look at the blade itself, it's definitely got the profile of a drop point. It has a nice slowly sloped blade. So, and again, it's got a little bit of a sheep's foot thing going. So I'm calling it a drop sheep. And people can just like it or not like it, or call it whatever they want. I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be, but
it can absolutely.
It's a good profile for breaking down boxes, for like you said, cutting rope, because it's got that little bit of belly to it.
Oh yeah.
And I love that. I like that you can get your finger out there and draw it back. I haven't carved with it yet, but I bet you it'd be great at carving wood and stuff like that.
Well, you've got that nice tip to get in there for that detail. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I have not done that either, but I can definitely see where you could, get in there. And, absolutely.
And if you have longer fingers, like a goofball here with long fingers, you can actually get all the way out to the tip. If you decide, if you're choked up and if you decide to skin with it, it's not made for that. But if you want to, you can, if you got longer fingers. I can do it, believe it or not. I can get all the way out to the tip, but that's because I got long, goofy fingers. So yeah, if I'm in the choked up position, just like this one, I can get all the way out there. But
right.
But yeah, it's and again, I think the weight came out good. Like I said, 3.6, 3.7, and I'm happy with that. Yeah. So what else?
Well, I said that the grip length was pushing 4, and it really is. Now if you kind of cut off this little area back here,
right,
you're looking at about 3 3/4, which, I mean, me, that 3.5 to 3 3/4 is like perfect for me, and it is. This is, I mean, it feels fantastic. The ergos, Kuby does a really good job with chamfering stuff down, and you've got the nested liners, which is nice. I really like that. You got
and that was all in a play to have a thin knife.
Okay.
As you can feel in the Mach 51, it's very thin in the hand, but with that contouring, it just feels right. And in the case of that one, it's the same. It's 0.49 wide, 0.48 is what I was getting yesterday on my calipers. But again, I have like $12 calipers, so if it's a little off, that's fine.
Don't be knocking my $12 calipers.
That's what I have too. Lefty's been making fun of me, but the funny thing is he had the same ones I had till recently, till he got his fancy ones. So
yeah, I get 0.49.
yeah.
So
It's somewhere right in that
yeah.
0.48, 0.49.
Yeah.
Great. I think my internet's going south again. I hope we're okay.
Oh yeah. We're doing all right.
I'm on the Ethernet. I don't get it. But anyway.
I know.
Trevor is here, so there's no telling what's happening.
Oh, he's stealing the internet from you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But no, I'm telling you, overall, yeah, Casey, you've done very well once again. Well, you know, I like this one. I like the Mach 51, and I like how you kept you stayed true to yourself in your design, but you listened at the same time and made changes that that hopefully people should be happy with. Now, one thing I was gonna say is I do have the micarta version, and I'll tell you what, Kuby's micarta, this micarta to me feels a lot like G10, and we've talked about that.
Yeah.
And it's not, I mean, it's good. It's got good grip. It's got good grip and everything. But to me, this one feels more like G10.
Yeah, it's not a fuzzy micarta, if you will. It's definitely, it's smoother. I did oil that one up before it came to you.
Okay.
I actually oiled it before I sent it to Kevin, so that he wouldn't have a chance to oil it. Or sweat it up or whatever it is he does. No, I'm just kidding. But no. So then I sent it to you like that. Yeah. Again, it's got good grip.
It does. It has good grip. Absolutely.
So there's been a lot of questions about that too. So I'll just do this. What you have seen is what we're going with in this run, guys. There's going to be black micarta and stonewash, black G10 and stonewash, light blue G10 and stonewash, and that's what we're doing for this run. Down the road, sure, I would love to try something else, but I gotta get this one funded, and again, we'll try something else. And the biggest reason for that, I had people asking about Jade G10, and I actually really thought about it for a few minutes about dropping either the blue or the black G10 and going with Jade. And really what it's all about is I have protos. I need to be able to show a picture of what you're ordering. And there's really no way for me to do that without getting more protos. And I want to move forward with the order. So that's what we're going to do this time. And, you know, again, I think if you want to go with a darker color, the light blue G10 will get you to a dark blue, a red, you know, you know, if you buy the blue one and suddenly decide you want it black, go for it. Purple, it should do like a dark purple. It should do a burgundy or, you know, a maroon or something like that. So I get it. I know it limits you. You can't go lighter, but at least, you know, you should be able to do some of these other colors.
No, yeah, absolutely. And no, and I think, I hope people will understand that, because I mean, at some point you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can keep putting things off and you know, more prototypes. I get that. I understand that. But at some point you're just like, all right, we got to do this. Go.
You know, and I've already got them out going around to reviewers, and I'm trying to get attention for it, and I don't want to delay the process again. So again, if it sells you will see other variations down the road, maybe even some kind of premium or something else. Just really wanted to do a budget for this one and go from there. But again, guys, here's what a purchase of a Pinion will do. The purchase of a Pinion will unlock this book. Okay. I have a lot of you know this already because I've talked about it on my stuff. I've spent a decent amount of personal money from my family to get to where I am now. I got to start bringing some money in before I can unlock, you know, and start. I've got other designs here I want to begin doing prototypes on and 3D renderings on. And I just can't do it yet.
No.
You know, there comes a point where you know, you got to put up or shut up. And we're at that point. And I really feel like this is a design. Again, I put it in that budget realm. I have some ideas with the pre-sale I'm working on to make the pricing really comfortable for people. Again, at this point, JB, I am going forward with the G10 being $75 a pop and the micarta being $85 a pop. Shipping will be extra, but it's going to be reasonable. You know, just that's the way. And I'm trying to keep it. I've got a couple of dealers interested, so I'm trying to keep where I make at least $150 off of these, you know, if when dealers get involved, if you understand what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So I'm keeping my margins really thin, but at the same time, just really trying to get one out there so I can get more out there. And that's really what this is all about. And I'm very excited, you know, and if these dealer things come through, I think you guys are going to enjoy that. We'll see how that goes and go from there. I don't know for sure that they're going to happen, but we're working on them.
Well, that would be awesome. That would be very cool if they did. A couple of dealers pick them up and help you sell them. But like you said, anytime you go through a dealer, that kind of cuts you back, you know,
big time, and a lot.
Well, I mean, and it's, you know, you went with the Mach 51 in a Kickstarter, you know, and didn't work out. Okay, great. Let's move on. And maybe, you know, a couple of designs down the road, maybe we can bring this one back and move forth with it, you know, and get it out there, because I'll tell you right now, I am very, very happy to own one of 3. And if I were to say, you know what, don't. They had their opportunity. I have this one. No. You know what I mean? I've got one of 3. Nah.
Oh,
you know what I mean? No, but no, hopefully
nanny boo boo.
Exactly. Yeah. You had your shot. But no, that's great. I hope that happens, because like I said, this is nice.
Yeah, you know, JB, let's just talk about that for a minute. Everybody that handled this guy at Blade Show, you got to bring this back. I got that over and over again, and that was my goal. I'm not going to say who it was, but who they were, but I had 4 very well-known designers come up to me and go, ask to see this. Okay. A little blown away that they even knew, you know, what it was. And you know, for a fact that there were 2 at dinner with us that made some suggestions and different things like that. So I have some ideas and I would love to see it come back, but it's not going to come back if this one doesn't work out. I can tell you that right now. That'll probably be the last nail in the coffin, if you will. So I kind of feel like that's not going to happen. Again, I need to sell somewhere over 300 to fund the project. I haven't done the final math yet because, to be very honest with you, expenses keep coming in that I wasn't thinking about. So it's going to be probably in the 350 range that I got to sell to fund the whole 600.
Yeah. And that's your final number. You're going to have to go with 200 of each model.
Yes, that's what we're doing. So I want to talk about that too. I'm going to start with 200 of each model. If the floodgates open and I start crying all over the place because the floodgates open and people really respond to this one and it goes up and they sell out pretty quickly, I may add some more because I can add on to the order, but we're going to start at 200 each. Yes. Right, 200, 200, 200. And we'll see where it gets us. But I mean, if people want 1,000 of these, I'll sell 1,000 of them. You know, it's
absolutely
whatever it is, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Kuby's not going to turn my money down and say, no, we're not going to. I'm sorry. We said 600. That's all you can order. They're not going to do that. So the other thing is they're standing again. I'm waiting for them to confirm again. But as of about a month ago, they were still standing firm on 60 days from order to delivery to me. Again, I want to make that clear, delivery to me within 60 days. And then I need time to QC them and box them and ship them and all that stuff. So we're talking a little bit quicker turnaround than a lot of companies are doing right now. You guys that ordered a stout know QSP's timeline and some of the other timelines. out there right now. So, you know, I have no reason to believe Kuby can't hit that 60 days because they told me 30 days for the protos, and it was about 24 days when I got them. So
Good.
really, really nice on their part. They seem to be very responsive and do a very good job. So I'm excited to team up with them and go from there. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I'm excited for it to get out there, and you know, it's again, I hope and wish you all the best with it. And I mean, let's talk about this real quick. We talked a little bit about Blade Show. Terrific to be able to get to finally meet you face to face, hang out with you. It was awesome that you got to come back on Sunday. That was really cool. I know you wanted to come back on Saturday, but you're like, oh, I was like, no, I'm going to do the family thing Saturday. And I was like, of course, absolutely. And then you're like, you were texting me, he's like, oh, I'm going to make it back on Sunday. So I was like, right on. Very cool. So that was great.
They still went on the lake without me on Sunday, but I got to go on the lake on Saturday, and then we still went for a boat ride after I got back Sunday. So that was good. I got to go. There's an island on the lake where there's eagles that live, bald eagles, and so we got to stand there, sit there on the boat, and watch bald eagles in their nest, the little babies and everything. So it was really cool. So I got to do that, but I also got to come back to Blade Show. I am sad though. I made a mistake, JB. I should have waited like 15 more minutes because I hear that right after when we were all in that group after the show in the hallway, I hear like 4 or 5 more people came up after I left that were like, "You missed me. You were." So like Cole from Tri-State, Sinister Duke. I missed him, and but you're right. I mean, meeting you in person was incredible. Seeing and meeting so many different people that you know, just are so supportive to the channel and so awesome. You know, people that came up and literally, so I worked in the TV news business for 26 years, and I saw all the time, like I was out in public with a news reporter or news anchor and just see how people react to them. It was really weird to kind of have that experience myself to a degree of you and I walking down and people coming up just going, man, it's such a pleasure to meet you. And I'm like, what? It's just me, guys. It's nobody special. But that, you know, you guys just make us feel so awesome that you consume our content the way you do, and that you're just so supportive. I can't even imagine trying to do this channel without the people who have supported it, donated to it, sent knives to be reviewed even before they got to see them, you know, all those kinds of things. So just to meet those people in person, and then to have one of them, JB, where did it go? We have one of them just walk up and hand me a knife to take home and review. I remember that. Oops. Oh, yeah. And I dropped it on a notepad. It's okay. The magic, the Protect magic from Jeremy Freak Show. Yeah. Just, you know, like I said, just amazing. And then the reactions to both the Mach 51 and the Pinion made me feel great. I wish I had like $5,000 just sitting in front of me where I could just go get prototypes of all the knives I have in line, because I probably got 4 or 5 more. I just like to just go get prototypes on right now and get moving on. So hopefully, and it wouldn't be $5,000. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
I'm just want to get some money flowing so that I can hopefully get some more of these designs out there.
Well, yes, please. Yeah, we're doing. You're on a roll, man. I hope it continues for you. Now I know.
And I think the pivot is here to stay based on everybody's reaction to it. So I think that'll be on every knife going forward. So
that's like a signature. It is. And I've said this, and when I showed it to Nelly, she's like, he listens. She always says the pivot. A lot of companies miss the pivot, and you definitely do not miss the pivot on that. I mean, come on. Yeah.
And that's a signature. And the good news is when I really wanted my logo on this one, the Tempest logo. But the good news is that has kind of become a trademark of mine as well, the pivot. So if I do a more premium knife, there probably won't be a logo on the blade. It'll just be the the pivot, and that
No,
so I'll have kind of 2 calling cards, if you will.
no, that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Kind of gives the blade a little bit cleaner look. Not that that's anything major, but I totally get that. I totally
really wanted to brand one at least, and then we'll see where we go from there. Yeah, but that's I almost forgot one important thing. So
okay.
I am currently targeting July the 8th, Friday, July the 8th. It may end up being Saturday the 9th. I don't know. I'm going back and forth, but I'm currently targeting the pre-order to drop on July the 8th. So
okay.
we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
I am working on setting up the website, and it's way more complicated than I thought. And I'm terrible.
Now, are you building on the current website?
No, I can't, unfortunately.
So it's going to be a whole new redesign.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the issue. So
okay.
Basically, that's a Google site, and I wasn't able. Well, I'm going to double check before I go too much further. But early on, I wasn't able to find a way that for Google to actually take credit card payments on their site. I'm going to go back and double check that because it would be a lot easier just to stay with them. But I've started building on a different platform completely.
Okay.
And it is very complicated. So I'm gonna, work on that and hopefully have it ready in time. I don't see any reason why I can't. And I've had some people offer to help. And so that's great. So I may get much get those people on board with helping, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, for right now, of course, there'll be a link down in the description to the current website.
Yes, please.
Where there are some drawings of the Pinion on there, so you kind of be able to go on and get an idea of what you've got.
I need to put some pictures up too if I haven't yet. I'll do that.
Okay. But guys, I know Casey has got to get on with his work day, but I tell you what, guys, keep your eyes open. This one is headed to Brandon Thrasher. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for what Brandon has to say about the Tempest Knives Pinion. I'm telling you, I'm digging it. That's kind of if I say I dig it, guys. And
there you go.
It's pretty much as simple as that. And of course, I had to represent today.
You're doing better than me. I've been in the office, so I just got a plain old work shirt on here. So,
but Casey, I really, really appreciate you taking the time today and kind of going over some of the slight changes that we'll see with the Pinion. But overall, man, I think you got yourself another winner here, and just wish you all the best of luck with it, my friend.
Thank you very much. And when you hold that up, that's what makes me the most excited, is that profile of it open is what makes me excited. Just the lines of it. Yeah.
It's great lines.
Yeah. It's got a really great shape to it, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And that's why I'm excited about it. So.
I am 100% agree with you on that. Great lines.
Appreciate you having me on. And for all you do, and for agreeing to take it home with you and all that stuff. So, and yeah, like you said, Brandon Thrasher. Also, if you don't mind, real quick, JB.
Yeah, shoot.
I'll throw a couple others out here. The other two, you're gonna see the blue G10 one with Backpack B very soon, and the black G10 one with NAF Sergeant very soon. And then after that, you're gonna see it with everybody, Neves Knives and Knife Nuts Pie. And then it'll keep on going. There's a bunch of people listed below that. So
right on.
Yep.
Good deal.
Very excited.
Good deal. It'll get out there and people will see it, and that's awesome.
Yep.
Very
the
cool.
idea.
All right, brother. You have a fantastic day, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to check the Pinion out, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. And thank you, everybody, for watching BigRedEDC in this edition of Channel Chat with my good friend Casey from Tempest Knives.
The reigning Channel Chat champion.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Thanks, JV.
Bye-bye.